Get in the pits of metal chaos with Tanya as she interviews the best in metal from around the world to the gates of hell and back. Now kneel down and show respect for the true creator of metal chaos, Slayer Tanya. Beg for mercy and let the chaos begin.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Eric.
How's it going?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
Great.
That's awesome. So hold on. You're live in the pits of metal chaos with your one and only and with Cold Black River from Wisconsin. What's up, Eric Cobb? Eric Cobb. I like the name. I like the
reeling
name.
from the holiday.
Still reeling from. What'd you do for 4th of July?
For 4th of July, for the 2nd, we played at Summerfest on the Rebel stage, which was awesome. And then on the 4th of July, we played we opened up for Corky Lane, who played for Mountain. You know the song Mississippi Queen?
Mississippi Queen, yeah.
That's it. So, yeah, we opened up for them on the 4th of July, so that was kind of a trip. But it was a good show.
Did you have any family fun?
Say that again?
Did you have any fun with your family?
With the fam? Yeah, everybody was around. It was pretty great. My son came up from Chicago and hung out with us at Summerfest with his girlfriend. And, you know, of course we had family around us when we were playing at the 4th as well. So, yeah, it was killer.
Did you guys shoot off any fireworks?
No, I don't know. I think I've kind of outgrown a lot of that stuff.
Okay. You want to hear my 4th of July? It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, Monday, my sister's telling me where she threw it upon me that we're going to my uncle's house. I was like shocked and everything. Okay, so my uncle Lee has a swimming pool. It's a big ass fucking pool, man. It'll hold like 100 people and you still have room. Anyways, so yesterday we went to my uncle's house. I had to find a bathing because I couldn't find my bathing, so I ran to Walmart. Got 2 different things. I'm like, fuck it. So I went in the pool swimming. We swam in like a couple hours. Then we had a barbecue. And then, big ass fireworks show for like 2 hours.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of firepower, too.
Oh yeah. But I wasn't blowing off any. It was all everybody else blowing off. I was just giving them. I was just the lighter person. They were taking lighters from me.
Oh, there you go.
I just provided lighters. I had like 50 lighters with me. I'm like, yeah, take lighters.
You're the fire provider.
Yeah, I was the fire provider. I was a pyro.
And that's a worthy cause.
Oh yeah, and then there was other people who was blowing off fireworks. I'm telling you this, they couldn't compete with ours because the shit we got. We went to Kaplan's. We went to what's that place in Wisconsin called? Huh?
Beloit?
No. Phantom, Extreme.
Oh, yeah.
The
The
China
fireworks
Direct. Oh, yeah. We went
So
all
what was
over
the
the place.
biggest firework that you guys lit off. What was the piece de resistance?
The last one was called shit. I don't even know the name, but it went off for like fucking 2-3 minutes.
That's insane.
And then there was the sunflower one, the spinning sunflower one. That was like a 3, 4, or 5 minute firework, man. That thing did a lot of shit for that little small firework. It did a whole bunch of shit.
That's insane.
And then we had those big loud motors, like 10 of them. Like,
oh,
BOOM!
really? Oh, yeah, the really loud ones.
Hell
I heard
yeah.
several of those going off last night. They're crazy.
Yeah, and then this neighbor, my uncle's neighbor, came out across the street. She was yelling at my sister and her husband. My uncle came out. He was bitching her out. It's like, this is my neighborhood, bitch. You just moved in here.
Well, it's not 4th of July unless one of the neighbors complains.
Yeah, well, yeah, we had neighbors. Then we had people coming, strangers coming to watch our fireworks show.
Of course.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, are you excited you're going to be playing Festival of the Witch?
Yes, we're really excited. We had originally set up a gig with her, I think, sometime last year.
Yeah.
And something had happened with the touring band. It had fallen through, and we were kind of upset because we were looking forward to it. And she said, look, we'll keep you in mind for next year, and we'll get things rolling. And, you know, she came through like a class act, which is super cool. And it looks like we're playing with a lot of really killer metal acts that night, too. So we're pretty excited. We tend to stand out with the metal crowd because we're a little bit different than the heavier stuff.
You're Doom.
Yeah, it's got the groove.
I love Doom. Psychedelic rock.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. So, Bob Marley. Smoke a spoof, man.
Smoke two.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm gonna light up one later. Light up my bowl, dude. So, anyways, yeah, you were supposed to play Festival of Witch last year, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I remember I was at that show, and I was like, damn, they couldn't make it. But I'm glad I'm gonna get to see you guys this year. And I know you guys played the Metal Grill, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Before they closed.
That's fucked up. They closed.
Yeah. Well, you know, they were doing their day jobs and running a club at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
And it'd be pretty stressful.
Too much work. And I don't know how they managed to keep up with all of that. And the how.
Well, they had a lot of people that volunteered and helped them out and helped to book shows and things like that. So I think that helped a little bit. And they did have a really great staff there, too. I remember having long conversations with the door guy about
Chris.
all the crazy stories and stuff. So
The door guy's
yeah,
name
it's a
was
cool
Chris.
place. Hopefully somebody will take it over. Or, you know, what usually ends up happening is another venue opens up at some point.
Yeah.
And you'll have another place that you can play. And the scene in Milwaukee is stellar.
You got Garibaldi's now taking all of the Metal Grill shows.
Garibaldi.
Yeah, Garibaldi's taking over the Metal Grill shows.
Interesting. Well, that's good because
How big is that place? Is it big like Metal Grill or bigger or smaller?
I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the place.
How you been to Frank's Power Plant?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that place. It's kind of small, crowded, but hey, it's a very intimate setting.
I like it because you can separate from the venue itself, go have a conversation and a beer, and go back and just listen to music. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it could be a little bit bigger, but yeah, the scene there is super cool. We played there with Sweet Talk and Sons of Kong. And had a really good show there. It was good.
Yeah, I've been to so many spots in Milwaukee, all over Wisconsin actually, because I live like right on the border, and Wisconsin's mainly the place I go to shows.
Right.
You go
to a lot of shows in Chicago?
Not really, like once a year. I do a once a year thing.
Cool.
Last year was Ragnarok. This year's
Awesome.
gonna be Festival of the Witch. I was supposed to go to the other one that took place over Ragnarok. What was it called, Dave?
Right.
Yeah, Legions of Metal. I was supposed to go to Legions of Metal with Bob Burns. Was hosting that show, but
Okay.
I couldn't make it, so I was like, fuck it. I'll go Festival of the Witch. And Days of the Doom is in August. Do you know where Days of the Doom's moved to?
No earthly idea.
Garibaldi's moved to. Are you guys playing that one, right?
No, I don't think we got invited to that one, actually. I know a lot of the bands that are probably on that bill, if it's like Atala and All Out Mutiny and guys like that, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know a couple years back when I went to Days of Doom, Trouble played that show.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool.
And the Skull's playing this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why it was really important to find an another venue for that show, not to mention the other bands that are on that bill.
Oh yeah. No, let me ask you. Do you have any other shows coming up before Festival Witch?
We actually don't have anything until then, and then after that we have one show at the Frequency. The Festival of the Witch show for us is our 20th gig this year, so we really kind of crammed a lot of them into the earlier part of this year, and I think we'll probably book a few shows, but I think we're gonna start working on some new material again.
You guys have any albums out right now?
The latest album that we have out is Ancient Depths, so that was our first full length that we released, and we did a digital release of it first, so you can find that on our Reverb Nation page and on our
Bandcamp
page, of course. And then
Do you have
after
Bandcamp?
that, we finally got some limited edition copies that are physical copies that we have on tour with us now, and we have, I don't know, we have probably 2 or 3 of the limited edition, and then
Save me one. I want it.
100 of the new ones. Yeah, I can do that. Not a problem.
How about Bandcamp? Do you guys got Bandcamp?
Yes, absolutely.
And what's available on Bandcamp?
What's the what?
What kind of you got all your material on Bandcamp?
Yes, we do. We have we don't have anything from our demo, but you can listen to the demo on Reverb, and then the other 2 albums are fully on Bandcamp.
Nice. So how many albums, EPs, demos you guys released to this day?
So in 2013 we released our demo, and we had 4 songs that we just self-recorded so we can get some material out there. And then in 14 we recorded Hillbilly Zeus, which is a 5-song EP with the Hillbilly Zeus single on it, and that did exceptionally well for us. We were actually at the tail end of our second run of that one. We're going to have to do another pressing or printing rather, since they're CDs, for that. So that's been really our signature song, which I sent to you.
Eric,
And then
I'm going to interrupt you.
up to that.
Hold on. Tell me about Hillbilly Zeus. What's Hillbilly Zeus about?
So the song itself is basically, it plays on how you have many different gods in the world, and there's a new god that's approaching Zeus to sort of ask about the old gods, and it's basically Zeus just sort of breaking things down for him about what it means to be a god and all these other things. And on top of that, they're also in the Ozarks, so it's like you walk up to this hillbilly shack and there's Zeus sitting on the front porch with Cerberus as his dog, and his daughter Medusa is there, and his brother Poseidon is there, and everybody's sort of hanging out, and he talks about his brother Hades and so forth and so on in the song. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one, and it has a what we consider to be a nice heavy stoner groove to it.
Let's take a break and play that song.
Do it.
Here's everybody. Here's Hillbilly Zeus. Take a listen. So we're back live. I hope you guys like that song. Hillbilly Juice, it was killer. I loved it. Oh my god. Made me want to smoke some weed again. Yeah. So, tell me how'd you bring this band together?
Jeremy and I, my guitar player, we're in a band called Elephant that's from here in Madison. And it's just a bunch of guys that get together and like to play fun, crazy music. And it was a 6-piece, so it was really difficult putting schedules together with everyone. And so everybody sort of broke off and started doing their own projects. And oddly enough, most of us end up in 3 pieces. So it's Jeremy, myself, and then we got Aaron Canitz from here in Wisconsin as well for our drummer.
Hell yeah.
And and what's neat is we end up playing, we're Cold Black River, and we play with the Grand Fury, which are 2 other members from Elephant, or we play with Droids Attack, which the bass player went over there, Darwin Sampson. And then our keyboard player is DJ Lovecraft, and that's what he does in his off time. And instead of playing keys, he's out DJing and doing gigs. So we, keep the sound alive and do a few things. As a matter of fact, as Elephant, we did a Clutch tribute band last Halloween at the High Noon, and so all of us got back on stage, but we were all doing Clutch instead. That was a blast.
Oh yeah, that sounds badass, buddy. Let me ask you. You go to Earwax Records?
Yeah, of course.
You got your albums over there?
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, I go to Earwax Records like once or twice a month.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I live.
There's a killer little comic book shop up there now too.
There is?
Yeah.
When they put that up there?
It had to have been recently because I just noticed it myself. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go check this out while I'm here, and it's pretty killer.
I haven't been there since March, so yeah, I know nothing about it. Cause every time we go to Madison, we make sure we're out there for like 6-7 hours at least. We're usually walking around that area by Earwax. And we're eating at the sandwich shop, just like Penn Station and shit like that. Or we just go window shopping, all that crap.
Yep, State Street is good for that.
Yep. I like Madison. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So, are you in, so what's your position in the band?
So I play the bass and I'm the lead vocalist for Cold Black River.
Okay. And how long you been playing bass for?
I've been playing music probably for, a little over 20 years now, believe it or not.
What bands were you in prior to this?
Say that again?
What bands were you in prior to this band?
Besides Elephant, before that I had a band called The Simpletons, which was just a straight up rock band. And, played in a handful of punk bands when I was younger. I didn't really break into the music scene until I got up here in Madison 14 years ago. And I just kind of took the stuff that I was playing at the time myself and introduced it to Elephant and kind of mixed in with their sound. And, of course, Cold Black River was basically born from that stuff, too.
And how long you been singing?
Singing for the 20 years. I've always had to sing because it was always difficult to find a vocalist, particularly for punk bands. So the first punk band I was in was a 3-piece, and we couldn't find a vocalist then, so I had to play drums and sing at the same time. That's basically where I started with music, and then from there I went to guitar and bass and other things.
How many guitars and basses do you own?
Oh, myself? That'd be a good question for Jeremy, because I'm sure he probably wouldn't want to admit to how many he has. I have 3 basses, 3 electric guitars, 2 acoustic guitars.
And what models?
I like Fender, so I usually go with the Fender Stratocaster for electric guitars. I have a Fender jazz bass, and I also have a Marcus Miller. It's a company called Sire, and Marcus Miller's a fantastic jazz bass player, and he went with this company to design this bass, and he made it to where you have a high-quality bass, but you don't have to pay an insane amount of money for a high-quality bass, because he wanted to try to get as many instruments into people's hands as possible, and that's been my go-to bass for the last year. It's a really, really solid instrument.
What size amps do you use?
What's that, dear?
What size amps?
Well, I was just reading an article today about how supposedly these Class D solid-state amps are just as good as the Class A all-tube amps, and I would have to disagree because I lug around a SVT Classic everywhere I go with an E2 cab.
Okay. I like my Fender amp, and I like my Fender Mustang. I got Fender Mustang amp, and I got the miniature travel size, white, the pearl kind Fender amp, the one you can put batteries in it or plug it in. And I got a Fender bar stool, leather bar stool chair. You sit it with your guitar. But the thing I'm missing is my Ibanez. My Ibanez got stolen back in April.
Oh.
Yep. It's okay. When I find that person. Huh?
Do you remember the model of the Ibanez?
Yeah, it's a Les Paul one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's the 1980 something model. Yeah, I had that thing for like 7 years. I learned to play guitar on it, and I played it. But it got stolen. It's okay.
I'm sure that broke your heart.
Oh yeah, I'm still pissed off about that. But there's another guitar I have my eyes on. It's a Michael Schechter, not Schenker, Michael Schechter.
Yep.
It's a black one. It has autographs on it. I have my eyes on that guitar. I already played 2 songs on it. I'm gonna buy it.
It's in a shop near you?
It's somewhere close by. I'm just not gonna say where it is.
Because somebody's gonna grab it.
Yeah. The guy put it in the back for me. He's holding it for me.
Cool, very cool.
I'm doing $20 a week payments on it till I have it paid off. Then I take it.
That sounds like a successful plan.
Yeah, it's a couple $100 for the guitar. Because those autographs makes it worth a lot of money, you know.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it has Guns N' Roses and Kiss autographs on it.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah. So when I play that, yep, nobody touch that guitar because I'll break necks. Probably I'll let someone play it on stage probably, but yeah, I'll break necks. Seriously. And see, the Ibanez guitar, it had purple strings on it, the neon strings.
Well, you could put those on any guitar.
No, I know, but see, this black Ibanez I had purple strings, and it had the skull crossbone guitar strap.
Well, that sounded like the ultimate setup there.
Yeah, and it had a skull crossbone sticker on it, a white one. But it's okay, whatever. So let me ask you, how many songs do you have all together with all your music?
Say that one more time. I apologize.
How many songs do you have together since 2013 till now?
Oh, for Cold Black River?
Yes.
On the recordings, we have the 5 songs on the EP and the 9 songs on the full-length album. And then we have another, I think, 10 or 11 songs that we pull from to play. We play a handful of covers that we like, and then there's other songs that we're working on and we like to play live, just kind of work them out a little bit.
Like 30, 40 songs, you say?
I would say closer to 30.
Okay.
We've only been around for 3 years with this project.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite song?
Hillbilly Zeus goes up there pretty quick, the song you played before. We have a new song, or the new single off the new album, which is Dystopia. I sent you a copy of that one as well. That's probably a very close second for me. I like that song quite a bit.
Dystopia? Okay. Nope, didn't upload. Stupid computer. Anyways, so, biggest band you opened for?
Biggest band we opened for?
Yes.
This year, we opened for Doyle from the Misfits at the back bar, which was fun and also weird. I have a good story for that one.
What's the story?
Playing Summerfest was a big kick for us. We didn't necessarily open for anyone, but all of our friends were jokingly saying that we were opening for Pink that day because she was the headliner for that day. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, we just opened up for Corky Lane from Mountain last night. So, yeah, that's...
So tell me the funny story.
Tell you a story about Doyle. So when we get to the gig, so Doyle's like a big guy. He obviously works out pretty much constantly. He's also 6'4" or taller.
Yeah.
And when we walk into the venue, you can see that his van is parked outside. It's a nice van. And right at the entry is this bench with all these weights on it. And it's this white bench and these heavy-duty black steel weights. And then on the bench, there's a sticker, and it looks like Bart Simpson, but it's Bart Simpson as Doyle. So he's got the double lock in the front and the Frankenstein bolts in his neck and everything. I was like, that is so cool. That's hilarious, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, all right, Doyle's got to be around here somewhere. And I shot a picture of it, and I sent it out on Facebook, and I said, hey, Doyle, do you mind if I borrow your bench? I got to do a few reps. And so I was hoping to bump into him later. And throughout the whole couple of days before we played, I was on Facebook, like, challenging him to an arm wrestling contest. And so what I was hoping to do is get him in a picture where he and I are arm wrestling. You know, he would totally defeat me without purpose, but it would still be fun. So I'm, like, trying to hound him a little bit, and he's real elusive. He's the very last guy that comes on stage, and he's the very first guy to leave the stage. So you got to kind of catch him at the right time.
Yeah.
And so right before they go on, I see that their sound guy is messing with his equipment, and he has this look on his face. And so I walked over to him because Doyle, even though he plays guitar, he plays through an SVT head, which is the same head that I use. And so I go over to the guy and I was like, hey, you know, is there anything wrong? Do you need some help? And he's like, the head keeps overheating. And we realized this is like the transition from winter into spring, and the heat was still on in the building. It was causing his amp to, you know, get too warm.
Yeah.
I said, well, let me get Michael, see if we can turn this stuff down. So I get backstage, and there's Doyle and the whole band, and they're getting ready to go up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I'd be like a nice guy and be like, hey, if you need to borrow my amp, you know, I can grab it for you. So I walk up to the dude, and, you know, having first met him, again, he's 6'4" plus, and he's looking directly at the ceiling for no reason, and he's chewing bubble gum. So, like, there's this distinct air of bubble gum. And I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, Doyle, I heard you were having some problems with your amp. If you need to borrow my amp, you're more than welcome to. And without batting an eye, not looking at me or anything, he goes, yeah, I don't think I'll have to fucking do that. I was like, yes, that's the best. That's all I needed. So that was me meeting Doyle.
Sound like a complete dick.
Well, it's like, you know, from New Jersey, and all of the guys talk like that. And I was like, but that's just a natural way of talking to you. And I was like, cool, not a problem, dude.
That's it. You got a picture with him?
Say that again?
Did you get a picture with him at least?
No, I don't tend to do that. Some of the other guys do. I don't know. I don't know. I like talking to them. If they're, like, approachable and you can talk to them and have a cool conversation about not music, that's, like, the best. But,
Okay.
I don't know what I would do with it.
Okay, see, this is what I do. When I go to concerts and I meet people, yeah, I have conversations without music in it, yeah. But then throwing the music in there, too, because it's very interesting, you know?
Oh, for sure. And more often than not, they go into something that they want to talk about, and that's what I would rather do rather than sort of force the conversation, so to speak. But I do like to talk about things that are outside of music because
they like food.
Even though they're a musician, they're also this person. That was what was cool about the show last night with Corky Lang, because this is the guy that wrote, basically, Mississippi Queen. And so he's going to tell you where that came from. And, you know, you get it straight from the horse's mouth. That's a cool freaking story. And there was tons of that last night. That was a really great story, too.
I'll let you tell that story in a second. So, when there's bands I meet. We talk about food, kids, family, jobs, cars, just everyday general life,
Sure.
movies, sometimes politics, the world, just anything, you know. It's basically
Absolutely.
yeah. Not like with you. What's your favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie? And that's tough because I just like the genre itself.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
It's too broad. Like I watch a lot of films, so I keep a list, and at the end of the year, I'll put together like a top 10 list of what I thought was cool to me. You know, who cares? But most recently, It Follows was a really, really excellent horror film. I found it to be intense and unnerving. And then last year, The Witch came out, and I liked that quite a bit. I found that
What movie this year you liked?
What's that?
What movie you liked this year?
Scares me?
What horror movie did you like so far this year?
Oh, this year. This year, Get Out was probably top of the list.
Okay.
There's a couple of others that are really good too.
I like The Omen. I'm staring at it right now.
The Omen is stellar. Yeah. Split was really good too.
It's all for you, Damien. Like Damien Thorne. That's funny.
The Omen's killer, but man, Exorcist scared the living hell out of me when I saw it
Yes.
as a kid.
Okay, listen. Exorcist, Poltergeist, all those movies, they don't scare me. Nothing scares me. You know why? I'm a ghost hunter. When I was 3 years old, I was haunted by a ghost.
And then that caused you to become a ghost hunter.
No, it's just something I picked up because my aunt and uncle got married in '98 in Long Grove Church in Long Grove, Illinois.
Okay.
And so there's that cemetery next to the church, you know. It kind of intrigued me, and I was looking at the headstones. They're very old, and I saw Freddy Krueger gravestone. Then I kind of went into the industry and trying to meet Wes Craven. Then finally I met Wes Craven a year later after the wedding. I met Wes Craven in California. Yeah, I'll tell you the story when I meet you at the show. I don't say that story on air.
That's cool. Not a problem.
None of people's business. Anyways, yeah, and I have like fucking 10,000 pictures, 14 hours of video footage.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and people are telling me make my own trilogy of it, make my own documentary or something. You know, it's too much work. I don't want to do it.
It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work.
And it's cost a lot of money too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're disabled like me and you can't really afford anything. All you can afford is what you can afford.
Enough to live, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, you gotta pay to live. If I hit the millions, definitely, I'm gonna get into it. Definitely, I'm gonna open my own website, put all the shit out there, and have people pay money to join my website. That's the way to go.
That's a plan.
Yep. Well, I'm probably gonna start putting those videos on YouTube, cause I want to get subscribers like you subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna use that channel and another channel cause I got like 6, 7 YouTube accounts. I've got so many email addresses. It's insane.
Is there a purpose to that? Why do you have so many?
It's just because I have so many accounts on Facebook. I've been hacked so many times, and there's like 3 or 4 active accounts on Facebook, and I know a lot of people. I'm like I said, I'm worldwide. But anyways, now tell me about what, Dave? What's the Corey Lang story?
Oh, well, I was just saying that the stories he was telling about where these songs came from were really fascinating, and they were excellent stories. So not only did you get to hear the music, but it was like a storyteller session. He broke down the songs and talked about where they came from and stuff. I don't want to steal any of his stories. You definitely want to get them from the horse's mouth, but yeah, it was fascinating. It was great.
Now, do you have an interesting story from him?
From him? No. We just hung out, you know. He was very approachable. He walked right in and walked up to Jeremy and I, and he said, "Are you guys in charge?" And we're like, "Nope." He's like, "All right, let's find out who's in charge around here." So, yeah, he was really cool. He's like an old comedian, because he's always telling jokes and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's cool. So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Oh, damn, that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm a foodie. I like food.
Favorite drink, non-alcoholic or alcoholic?
Alcohol, that's super easy. I'll take a bourbon on the rocks pretty much any time.
That's cool.
Yeah, most of the bars will have like Bullet bourbon, or I can get a Maker's on the rocks. And I got that from my grandfather and my uncle. That's what they drank, and I've always liked it.
What's your take on Bloody Marys?
I don't do the Bloody Mary thing. Yeah.
Tina Walker made Bloody Marys at Metal Grill.
I'll drink a beer for sure, but yeah, not a fan of the Bloody Mary.
Well, I love Tina's Bloody Marys at Metal Grill.
Just give me a big fat breakfast.
Well, it comes with food on it.
Yeah, totally.
The sausage.
Some more than others.
for $5, and it comes with a little cup of beer. Not for
Yeah, you
use,
gotta
but not
have
anymore.
the hair that bit you, or the hair of the dog that bit you, they say.
Yep. Yeah. I miss the Metal Grill. I remember I used to go there when it was the Bullfrog too. The Boo Pig, sorry. So, now tell me, first concert you've been to?
The first concert I went to, see, I was a kid, and we had some friends that were throwing a punk show at a, you know how you can rent like a park shelter for $40 and they have electricity, and they would have shows there. And so as a kid, I would just go to punk shows at the park.
Do you remember the first band you saw?
No, I couldn't even tell you. I could tell you some of the first bands that I saw that were prominent and would be like Agnostic Front. I remember seeing Agnostic Front at like this warehouse show where a dude actually just rented a warehouse and had a show, and of course the cops showed up and shut everything down. I remember seeing an Agnostic Front there. So I liked hardcore when I was young. I liked punk when I was young anyway, because you would say and do whatever you wanted to, and it wasn't that it didn't matter, but it was more socially acceptable to be different or be more opinionated about things or ask questions that supposedly you're not supposed to ask.
Yep. I don't like being targeted under one specific thing, and we gotta follow the rules.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I hate following rules. I like breaking rules more like it.
Well, a lot of it comes from just don't tell me what to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? There's always somebody there to tell you what to do or how to do it.
Except when you're a kid, yeah, you have to listen to your parents.
Oh, especially as a kid, your parents are there telling you what you can and can't do, you know? I mean, but yeah.
Well, you gotta learn from them.
Yeah, you have a certain level of freedom, but I think it's the ignorance that you have as a child you don't really understand or know. You have to learn.
Do you have any kids?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, my eldest lives in Chicago. He's 27, and he does DJ music. He likes EDM. He creates some pretty killer stuff. And our middle one is living in Chicago with his mom, and the youngest is in Chicago as well.
How old is the youngest?
The youngest now, Joshua, the oldest, is 27, so it's 27, 25, and 23.
Are they all musically inclined?
Yeah. Morgan and Evan did music in school, and Josh didn't do it in school and did it on his own, so, okay. Yeah.
Now, how many websites can people find you on?
Oh my gosh. There's at least half a dozen without a doubt. The best place to go, though, is just coldblackriver.com, and then you can stem from there. And it'll take you to our Facebook, our Reverb Nation, Bandcamp, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff.
That's cool. Now, let me ask a question. This is the question. I'm going to give you 3 answers to pick from, okay? First band started heavy metal. First option is Blue Oyster, Black Sabbath, and Van Halen.
So I get to choose one of those artists?
Yes.
It would be Sabbath.
Okay. Now, in your own terms, who would you say started black metal? Who started metal?
Who started metal?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's a great question because it goes back.
I've gotten so many.
It's also interesting too because you're talking about genres. When that sound was born, you have a lot of things that were both influencing that sound and also influencing the next sound. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of, quote unquote genres will do. Because you're coming out of that sort of late 60s psychedelic going into proto-punk, proto-rock into the early 70s. Like, we can mention Mountain again. Mountain made that transition like a lot of bands like Zeppelin and Sabbath and The Doors and other bands that influenced that type of sound. But, I mean, some people say Blue Cheer, some people say The Who, some people say Deep Purple.
The Beatles.
it's really difficult to say, you know. I think they're all kind of guilty of being the godfathers of metal, frankly.
The Beatles, Helter Skelter. I heard this one time. There was this one person
Well,
who gave
Helter
me.
Skelter's a great song, but if you really want to talk about doom influenced Beatles, it's oh, what is that song? She's so heavy.
Okay.
What is the title of that song?
I don't know.
Anywho, yeah, that's a super doom influenced song right there.
Like one time, like it was last year, 2 years ago, when I interviewed this one guy. He said this black guy from the 1920s. I'm like, really?
So, like, is he saying Robert Johnson is responsible for heavy metal? Are you going to dig that deep, or?
Yeah, like 1920s is what this guy said. It was a black jazz singer or some shit like that. And he started kind of like with the metal groove into his jazz. I was like, oh, really?
I would be super interested in checking that out. That's awesome.
I'm gonna look it up. I haven't looked that guy up in a long time.
Yeah, the name of the song is I Want You, She's So Heavy. That's the Beatles tune.
Yeah.
And it's got that super heavy riff in the middle of it that I like so much.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that sounds okay. I'm not really a Beatles fan. I'm like, I'll dig Helter Skelter. I'm more of a back then fan. I'd say Bee Gees. Jive talking.
You said the Bee Gees?
Yeah, jive talking. Oh yeah, I gotta do Bee Gees. Can't go wrong with Bee Gees.
Talked the boys into doing a Bee Gees tribute band for a while. They just won't do it.
Really?
Yeah, I told them I would do Barry Gibb.
Can you do jive talking?
I don't think I could do any of that falsetto stuff. I think my voice is
let me
too deep for that.
try it. Let me hear you. Let me try it.
I don't think I could pull it off.
Try it. It's jive talking. You got a voice. You could do it.
That's obviously more your sound. We could do a slower, sludgier version of it for you. How about that?
Jive talking. Right. I could go grunge with. I could go like Black Death. Jive talking. The Cookie Monster
metal sound.
Yeah, Cookie Monster. Jive talking. Like I puke on my shoes. Oh, okay. Top 5 favorite bands.
Top 5 favorite bands.
Yeah.
It's so tough. There's too many really great bands that are out there.
Okay, just for now.
It
Just
depends
for
on the mood,
today.
right? Like, I mean, you go into moods, or I do anyway, where you listen to a certain sound,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe you tire of that sound, and then you move on to another sound. I mean, if you go through my record collection, you're going to find everything from jazz and blues and even contemporary stuff like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr.
Beethoven.
all the way to,
Mozart.
you know, death metal and doom metal and the heaviest of the heavy stuff. And I don't know, it just depends on the mood, really.
Just keep me away from Conway Twitter. I hate that shit. I hate
You
that
don't like the
shit.
Conway Twitty stuff, huh?
No, Conway Twitter. I call him Conway Twitter. Or Barely Not Man Enough.
Okay, so both of those are out for you, but everybody else is good.
Everybody else good. Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson's good. Pink is good. Madonna's good. Madonna back in the day. Paula Abdul from back in the day. Janet Jackson from back in the day. Whitney Houston. I always loved Whitney Houston. I could toss in some pop because I do like pop, house music. Because I grew up in the '90s, and all that kind of shit was popular back then, like Nirvana and Aerosmith and all that shit. And then Slayer, and then DRI and all that shit. That was all
See,
popular.
that's pretty eclectic, though, because you're talking about pop on one side, and then you go all the way to, straight up metal on the other side.
And then Venom, tossing Venom, then tossing Ozzy, then throwing Dolly Parton too. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Or Billy Ray Cyrus, don't break my heart, my achy breaking heart. See, with my show, I've been to be country, jazz, rock, metal, rap, hip hop, all that shit.
Yeah, I think it's good to mix it up.
Yeah, I always okay. There's this one band called Little Dragon from Sweden. It's a Japanese female singer. It's more like death techno, electric music. Okay,
Okay,
like the
all right.
grass punk stuff. It's pretty good, the music. I actually did a show, just like a 45-minute set show of their music, off the new CD, High Season. Yeah, It's good. Like there's this one song called Strobe Light, Blue Strobe Light, something like that. It's just words, just the words that just gets you when it's like psychedelic rock. It's kind of leaning towards that, you know.
Alright.
It's when you're
I'll
high
listen to
shit.
it.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it, Little Dragon.
Yeah, do
Anyways.
that. That's great.
So do you guys got fans in your area in Madison?
Yeah, we do pretty well up here. I tell you what, when we played the Summerfest, when I looked into the crowd, there were people that had come from Wausau, from Madison, from Green Bay area, and I was like, wow, guys, thank you so much. That's super cool to have them come out and support us. So that was probably the sweetest thing, is to turn and look and go, I know that guy. How is he in Milwaukee? Oh my God! So that was super sweet. And then in Madison, we do pretty well. You know, we played here for a while, and we played here as Elephant before, and we do our tribute bands, and then we play around here quite a bit. I mean, we've played High Noon 3 times in the last 3 months, which is unheard of for us. And then we always play the Wisco, and we actually got to play an outside gig at the Wisco for the first time this year. We have an event called Make Music Madison, and all throughout the city there are bands playing all day long, and it lands on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. This year it landed on a Wednesday, and we got to play outside there, and it was fantastic. I mean, you get to open up to a new audience and get to pick up some more people, and the people that check you out, they seem pretty sincere, you know, where they come over to you and they appreciate what you're doing, and they seem to like the sound. It's pretty cool. It's also cool to scare people off too.
So there's like a local pub or bar you go to all the time and play at?
Yeah, we enjoy playing the High Noon. That's sort of the
Okay.
top for us around here, but our absolute favorite place is probably the Frequency.
Okay.
You always have excellent bands there. You know, Darwin treats all the bands with insanely good respect, and the crowd there is always fantastic. So that's our absolute favorite place to play.
Have you guys ever played for Randy Kastner?
Randy Kastner, he's in a couple of bands.
No, Randy Kastner, the promoter.
Oh, the Arcade Productions.
Yeah.
Got you. Sorry, there's another guy over here that's named that. He's in a band I can't remember the name of right now. You know what? I've hit him up a couple of times for some shows, and we've been to a couple of shows. I don't think we played an arcade show yet. We played 301 Productions and a couple of those other production companies, but he's pretty strictly metal, and you know, we certainly lean into the rock arena. There's no doubt, but we have metal elements to it. But that's like I said, strictly metal. I do enjoy playing those shows though, because we end up being the standout of the show, and just because we're different, and that's you know, a benefit.
Hey, I love doom metal. So I love all genres of metal.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, favorite power metal band?
Power metal?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny, we were just talking, I was thinking, there might not necessarily be power metal, but I guess you could put them there. 3 Inches of Blood, I really loved, and I really wish they wouldn't have broken up, but they had their sound, and they did what they did with it, and it was really fantastic. They're probably more of a new age classic metal, but it's definitely got that sort of triumphant victory of the Vikings kind of sound to it. So I dig that stuff. I'm not super into the power metal stuff, I guess. I was when I was younger, but I ended up moving into the heavier stuff later.
I like Symphony X.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Symphony X is pretty good. Have you ever played the one place downtown Chicago, the Underground Lounge?
No, but we would love to. That would be fantastic.
How many times you guys been to Chicago play?
We haven't. This is going to be our first Chicago gig.
It's actually Berwyn, but yeah.
Yeah, I was told that as well.
But yeah, you could consider Chicago because it's Cook County.
I'll take it. How about that?
Yeah, you'll take it, I know. I know you'll take it. You'll like it too. I'm sure
Absolutely.
you'll like it. You love it, actually. You love it, then you want more.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a really good time at that gig. We're kind of
Oh,
excited
yeah.
to check these guys out and be able to play in front of a new audience.
I never been to Crew Rock Lounge. This will be my first time there.
Awesome. Well, it'll be the first time for the both of us.
And a couple other people too. What I'm really excited to see is Illusionist, Ron Fitzgerald, and the Lady India dancing and stuff like that.
So that's all the same night.
Yeah, Saturday.
Excellent.
Do you know what time you guys are gonna be hitting stage?
No, we haven't gotten the day sheet for that yet, but that's not
Dave,
unusual.
what
We get it.
times?
What's that?
Dave has the times on his phone. Pull him up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he got the times. Hold on, I'll tell you the times in a minute. What CD is in your car right now?
News to me. Say that again.
What CD is in your car right now?
The CD in my car. Actually, I was really hating our local radio here. It's just, we have one station, WORT, and then we have the college station. Those are good stations, but they often play jazz throughout the day, and then their specialty shows come on in the evening or through the weekend. That's usually when I listen. But otherwise, the radio here is just awful. And my car has one of those MP3 CD players.
Yeah.
So I can jam 400 songs onto a CD and just chuck it in there. So what I did is I just went through my entire library and I grabbed one iconic song from each artist and I threw it on the disc, and that's what's in my car right now.
Cool. Now, what do you think about Motorhead?
What do I think about Motorhead? Well, it's the tops. Lemmy is pretty amazing. His tone is insane. I got to see him play at Orpheum Theater, and when they say that they're the loudest band in rock and roll, that's no bullshit. They are the loudest band in rock and roll. I had earplugs in, and it was still damaging my ears. It was insane how loud it was. The only other band that was louder or could have competed with Motorhead is Sleep. Sleep was the next loudest show that I had ever been to. It was also insane. But yeah, love that shit.
I saw Motorhead, Megadeth, Volbeat at the Gigantic tour in February 2012 at the Rave. I tell you this, I met Lemmy at the bar.
Oh, nice.
Spent 28 minutes with him.
Talk about, again, approachable, right? Just having the ability to just kind of sit there and have a drink and bullshit for a while.
He invited me on a chair next to him, and he bought me whatever I wanted to drink. I'm like, I just want pop, that's it. I'm good.
See, he's a gentleman through and
Yep.
through.
And it was more like a father-daughter connection, like a father figure daughter, kind of like stuff like
Yeah, you
that.
could probably say father-granddaughter in that case.
Yeah, granddaughter. I'm way young. What you think about David Bowie?
But as an artist or his death? Or
Just
what do you-
everything about him, David Bowie.
Oh, I absolutely love him. Highly influential as well. Talk about somebody that breaks the mold. One person that is compared to him is Prince, who also sort of broke that same mold. They did absolutely their own thing, and it's awesome. There's tons of interviews with David talking about that. He's like, don't cater to your audience, don't cater to the trends, don't cater to that stuff, just create, because that's what you want to create, and that's what you're trying to say, or what you're trying to express. Yeah.
Okay, so I got the schedule. So you guys are playing Saturday, July 22nd, and 3 Saturdays from now. Saturday, July 22nd, 6:40 to 7:15. You guys are third band on at Crew Rock Lounge in Berwyn, Illinois. You hear that, everybody? Remember, Crew Rock Lounge, Berwyn, Illinois, Festival Witch 2. Cold Black River is going to be there. 6:40 to 7:15. Don't miss out. $20 for the show. So, anyways, in your own words, what are the pros and the cons in the music business?
The music business, oh boy.
Come on, that's a fun question.
No, it's good. It's funny because we've been talking about this lately. Where we are in Madison, you have the MAMA Awards, which are the Madison Area Music Association Awards, and they honor local people that are successful with their music, and I mean that in a very specific way. And then, of course, in Milwaukee, you have the Whammy Awards, which is like a sort of a Wisconsin version of it, but it's more Milwaukee-oriented, frankly. So you can be nominated for a MAMA Award or a Whammy Award, but they're sort of like popularity contests in some ways, and they're also more self-promotional for the product rather than for the bands themselves, I think. Or that's how it's been in my experience, having been nominated twice for the Mamas and once for the Whammies. Not that that is something. In any case, it's kind of weird because when people look at it in a business perspective, like those organizations tend to, they kind of don't really concentrate on the creative aspect of it. They're concentrating on the marketing of it or the accessibility of it or something like that. So that becomes a little cumbersome. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, particularly where we live, which is Madison or in Wisconsin, people are very, very supportive of original music and local artists and people that aren't national acts. And people go out on a cold winter night or on a rainy summer evening and go see a show for $5 of bands that they've never heard of before because they're interested, they're curious, they want to know more. And if they like those sounds, they're particularly going to go out and support those. So we do have a really great musical community, and the musicians tend to support each other rather than try to compete against each other. More often than not, it's, we're calling each other for gigs. Do you need a gig? We have a gig. Do you have a gig that we can jump on? That sort of thing. And that's how you end up getting gigs now. It's just kind of helping each other out, and it works out exceptionally well. We bring bands down from the Green Bay area and the Wausau area and places like that, and they bring us up there so that we can perform in their clubs, and it's a really great relationship. So that's probably one of my favorite aspects of it. Plus the people that you meet in the music community. You talk about the metal family and all that. The music community as a whole, whether it's rock or that or whatever, if they like you and they like your sound and you're a genuine person, then everything works out exceptionally well. And basically what we end up doing is, like I said, this will be our 20th gig this year at the show that we're talking about. And you get to meet new people. You get to bring more people in on the sound. You get to be a part of that community, and you're hanging out with people that are interesting and cool and fun and are just there to have a good time and share that same feeling that you have in performing the music or in listening to the music. Especially with a festival like this, we're going to get to see, 9 bands a day, is that right?
Let me hold on one second.
It seemed like there was 18
Rose
artists
Trees,
for this
Unquiet,
whole show.
Eddie, Quebec River, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 bands. You guys are playing with my boys from Philadelphia, Corner Sanctuary.
Oh, sweet.
I'm on their CD. My name's on their CD a couple times.
Awesome.
And also, see, there's this other band in Lake County area, McHenry area. It's called Last One Standing. I did their artwork for their CD in 2015.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, I was bored. I was like, I had goggle pictures. Like, fuck it, I'll do that for their album cover. Yeah, it's cool. I do all types of stuff for bands. I don't mind it.
That's good.
I don't expect no money. I just want my name out there. That's it. I don't care about the money.
Well, like I said, it's a relationship, and I'm sure the bands appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting me on your show to do the interview.
Before you, I did Unquiet Eddie, the man that's before you. And see, in Indiana, Portage, Indiana, there is competition with bands over there.
Okay.
And like you said, in Madison, there's no competition. Which that's what I like to hear, no competition. I don't like to hear...
Well, I won't say there's no competition. They do have their silly little Battle of the Bands things, but for the most part, people work together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, just in general. People need to work together, not be competed. Like, let's say you get this one garage band, they played in front of 40 of their friends, and all of a sudden they think they're rock stars. They're high alter egos. Hello? You know what I'm talking about.
I suppose so. We've been pretty lucky in not seeing a whole lot of that. And when we do see it, we often see it with like the youngest of the young bands. So you'll play a multi-band venue that plays, 7, 8, 9 bands. And it's I don't know. I've been playing music for a while, so when I see that, it more makes me laugh because you can just see it in their eyes. Their eyes light up, and they get this, thing about them. And I mean, who didn't fall for that when you were young?
Yep. Like when I first started my show, I always thought I was a rock star. It's like, yeah, I'm a rock star, I'm popular. Like, yeah, okay, I'm just a regular person. Whatever.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't get a
I'm a rock star that still has to get up at 6 in the morning and go to work, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's how rock star it is.
See, my dream was, my parents sent me to California to go to high school in 94.
Okay.
My parents sent me to live with my dad's side of the family. My dream was to be in California, to be somebody famous. It was either cartoon animation, an actress, or a singer. Okay?
Right, well, that's what they push for in California, right?
I was going through all those three, but car accident happened that year, and I got sent back home. But see, due to the car accident, thank God the car accident happened, whatever happened. But anyways, I still went for my dream. I am somebody. The radio show. Fuck it. I've worked for other radio stations before in the past. I mean, I did commercials and stuff like that with other radio stations. So I decided to open my own shit. I'm like, fuck it. And I found it really cheap, you know?
Well, that's how things get done, right? You just say, fuck it, and do it, right?
Oh yeah, just fucking do it, man. Just keep pushing forward. Keep at your goal. That's the message everybody needs to get. So they won't be homeless bums. Or so they won't.
Go for it.
Huh?
You gotta go for it.
Or so they won't give up and commit suicide. Because we got those kind of people in this world. But they need to wake up, open their eyes, and keep pushing forward. Don't let nothing stop them. They gotta gain confidence. I'm sure you have confidence.
You have to, or you have to at least pretend you've got it for a little bit.
Yes. Now, any last words?
Famous last words, right?
Yeah,
well,
famous last words.
Honestly, we're just excited to be able to come down to quote-unquote Chicago and play a show for a new crowd, especially with a bunch of metal bands. We know that's going to be a really killer time. We're looking forward to it, and we appreciate you guys having us.
Did you pick up the Illinois Entertainer yet?
No. I don't know that I've got access to that.
Well, I have a copy. I have like 60 copies in my car. I'll bring them to the show. I'll give you one.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because the flyer of the show is in there, and your band is in there.
Sweet. Thank you.
And my radio show's in it, too.
Perfect.
It's a Metal Chaos Quebec. Yeah, it's a pretty cool flyer. I like it. I'll put it in a photograph later. I'll probably get a poster from the show, put it in a photograph, and hang it on my wall.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I can't wait to meet you. I mean...
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Last thing. What kind of merchandise are you guys bringing with?
We have tons of stuff. So for both CDs, we have shirts, stickers, buttons, picks, tons of posters. So a lot of posters from the first album, and then a bunch of posters from various shows that we've played. And you will not go away empty-handed.
Send me one of everything. I'm going to buy everything.
We can do that for you.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on my show, Eric.
We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you Saturday, July 22nd.
Fantastic. You guys have a good one.
You too. Having a good night.